Welcome back to the Silver Lining, where it's no filler, no fluff, but we keeps it a buck. And today we're gonna be doing part 7 to our diss track tier list. As always, want to do a couple of reminders here. The tracks we're doing, we're not saying these are the best diss tracks. I always say that just in case it's your first time here. We're just saying that these are just diss tracks that we're gonna put in tier lists. We got a bunch of them that we've done already. I'll link those in the description below. You might want to check those out because we might reference back to some of those. Just make sure you're not lost. I'm gonna link those in the description below. I'm also gonna put timestamps. So if you want to go to a specific diss track, you can do that as well. And of course, I got the crew with me today. Got my brother Stan in the building. What's going on, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing? Just happy to be here
Maintaining,
today.
man. Maintaining. Got my man Kurt in the building. What's going
You
on, man?
already know what it is, man. You already know. I put this hood on, man. I be putting the hood on, man. Shout out to my man Reggie. Big Stan, what's up? Let's get it.
All right. So we're gonna start this with No Rest for the Wicked by Cypress Hill. I'm just gonna go through the history here before we rank the song. So this beef really started. Okay, so it goes back. So Ice Cube was filming Friday, and he actually wanted B-Real to actually be in the movie. And he was going to do the movie, but unfortunately, his manager actually booked him to do some shows at the time, so he couldn't be in the movie. B-Real felt bad about that. So he was like, "Yo, I can't be in the movie, but I can do some songs, for the soundtrack." And of course, he's like, "All right, cool, that'll work." So Ice Cube came to the studio because he wanted to, let him hear the songs that he wanted to give him for the soundtrack, make sure he liked them or whatever. So he played a song for him. He liked the song a lot, and they were going to use that for the soundtrack. But they were like, since you're here, I want you to hear some of the songs we got planned for our next album. Because why wouldn't you, right? You got Ice Cube in the studio, like while you're
Mm-hmm.
here, let me show you what else we've been working on. So they play a couple of songs for him, and then they play one, "Throw Your Set in the Air," and Ice Cube loved it. He's like, "Yo, that song is dope. Like, can I get that for the soundtrack?" And they told him like, "Yeah, we love to, but that's actually going to be our lead single, so we can or whatever." And Ice Cube appeared to be okay with it. All right, that's cool, but play it again because he just liked the song. So he's like, "All right, we'll play it again for you." So some time goes by, and they someone reaches out to Cypress Hill like, "Yo, did y'all give Ice Cube that song?" And B Real was like, "Yeah, the joint, yeah, we gave it to him already." Like, no, we talking about "Throw Your Set in the Air." They like, "No, we didn't give that to him. Like, we haven't even put it out yet." He's like, "Okay, well, he got a song right now with the hook on the radio," and they hear the song, and of course they're pissed off about it. So B Real was really close with Ice Cube, so he didn't really want to believe it, but the other people in the group was like, "Nah, we ready to bomb on him." So B Real reaches out to Ice Cube, and they talk it out, and Cube is just like, "Nah, like I didn't bite it. It's hip hop. Sometimes you end up with similar stuff." And B Real was cool with it. He was cool with it. However, Ice Cube brought B Real back to the studio to do a song with him, and while he was doing the song, he was listening to what was already laid down, and he started noticing that there were a couple of lines that was similar to some of the other lines that he said. And he's like, "Yo, he did bite." So at that point, there was no more. They just had to go for it at that point, and so that brings us to this moment of no rest for the wicked. All right, so I'm gonna start with Stan on this one. Where do you put no rest for the wicked?
Oh shit. I lead towards the A tier with that one. That shit was hard. And here's the funny thing about that whole deal is I didn't even realize that it happened. Like I knew-
Wow.
I had to refresh myself on that whole deal. So when I was doing research for this show, so I went back and listened. I was like, let me go back and find the story before I listen to the songs. Let me go back and actually find out the story from this because I didn't remember it.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and I found the clip from the Beef DVD about it, and I'm like, this shit is funny because I didn't even remember it. So when I listened to the songs, I hadn't heard the songs, and B Real is like one of the more underrated MCs in hip hop. And again, Cypress Hill is not my cup of tea, but At the time, it wasn't because it wasn't. It just wasn't into him. Be Real's dope, and that song is just vicious. Like he goes at Ice Cube and talks, talks about dubs, talks about the whole Westside connection. Yeah, hey, yo went at him. Yo went at him hard, and it was more so, y'all niggas biting our shit. You biting this. You stole our song. Like I said, I was surprised because I hadn't heard that stuff in a while, man. I hadn't heard it. Like I had the refresher on it. But that was an underrated. I know we're gonna talk about the Ice Cube song afterward, but that was an underrated battle
Yes.
because it was both songs was vicious. Both of the first tracks they put out were vicious songs. So I would put it in the A tier. I don't know if I put it in the S tier, but I would put it in the A tier. Absolutely, it's crazy. It was dope. As I said, that was one of those holy shit. I don't even remember those moments. Like, it was really one of those I had really not had didn't know about it. But then I had to refresh it. I was like, oh yeah, I do remember that there was something with Ice Cube and Cypress Hill, but I didn't. It wasn't one of those. It wasn't one of those well-known hip hop beats that I had to
Right.
refresh on. I had to refresh on it. I was like, holy shit, yo, went at him too. It was just Be Real the whole track. Just Be Real just going through it the whole song. It's like shit. There was some powerful punches in that one.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all go ahead and talk about it, but that shit was crazy. I had to get that. I definitely put that in the 18.
All right.
I'm kind of conflicted on it though because we got that one Jadakiss song in the B tier, right? Like, like I said, we gotta go. You know what? We're not even gonna do that. We're just gonna
No,
go
no,
by
go no,
this.
no, no. Go there.
Is
Go there.
this is
Go there.
this is this better than Jada's song versus Beanie?
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
Yep, absolutely.
Because Be Real, man, like you said, very underrated. This is a hidden gem. Shout out to Cypress Hill. Very underrated. And you know what? This is it's definitely hardcore. It is definitely smack you in the mouth, and he definitely punching. Um, I can't quite put it in A though. I think it's a high. I'm not going to like argue with anybody that calls it A tier. If you call it A tier,
Uh
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to disagree with you. But my personal opinion, I put that in the Jadakiss song. Like they're together. Like, and that's why I asked, like, do you think because the Jada song could be A tier, and so could this. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I don't know. Like having that Jada diss track in the B tier makes it very hard to say A to just throw A out there now. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we needed. You know what I mean? A song in that mid tier. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go the same place I went with Jada's. I'm gonna go high B tier. Be Real is just that whole voice. Like you don't. He sounds like an evil genius. He don't sound like a rap. It sound like if Albert Einstein had an attitude, had ops.
huh.
He sound like a genius, yo. He really sounds like an evil genius. He sounds more like a supervillain, like the Joker or one of them dudes, right? The beat is legit, dope ass bars. He addressed everything that we needed to address. Like I don't know what he didn't cover. Like he covered it all. I'm just scared to put it in A tier. So what I'll say is, like we said, I'm not gonna argue with you if you say A tier. However, I'm gonna put it like cream of the crop, B tier, like high B tier, like A minus almost. So that's why I'm putting that at. But shout out to Cypress Hill, man. They did their damn thing with this one, man. And like you said, Stan, this was a hidden gem. Like Reg, you pulled one out. You pulled one out of the archives for this, yo, for
Yes,
real,
sir.
bro. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go high class B.
Okay. All right. So I want to respond to what you said, Kurt. Here's the thing. With the Jada Kiss record, all right,
Hmm.
Son of a Kiss, If you give Son of a Kiss this beat, it's also A tier because the beat does matter in the battle track. When you pick the right beat, it intensifies it, man. And that beat that they picked, that beat is dark and it's menacing. This joint, this isn't for radio. This isn't for the
Right.
Grammys. This ain't none of that. This is I'm gonna pick this dark, menacing beat and I'm gonna diss the shit out you. This is hip hop right here. This is bringing it to
It
your
is.
neck. And when I first was gonna do this battle, at first I was just gonna do the two songs that people talk about in this battle. They talk about the one we're gonna talk about next, Ice Cube and Mac 10's joint, and then they talk about Ice Cube Killer. That's usually the two songs that people talk about in this battle. No Rest for the Wicked usually doesn't get talked about because that's what kicked it off. But then I'm like, nah, we gotta tell the whole story. We gotta do all the songs. And in my opinion, and this is not what most people think. I think this song is better than the one they did later. We'll talk about that one on a different tier list, but this one to me is better. This one was no gimmicks. This was dark beat. I'm dissing the shit out you. Told that man Jackson, let me figure out the name. Jack, because you be stealing other niggas' game. Oh, Cube. Man, Cube. Guys, let's talk about this. First solo album
Yo,
on the East Coast dick. East Coast niggas showed you love, especially the one known as King Son. He tried to warn us niggas about you, but nobody would listen, even began dissing. 2 albums later, you calling my crew, all because you want to be Cypress Cube. Should have known you couldn't hang in the alley. Good boy, but went to school in the valley. Fuck it.
Valley.
Let me make this understood. Speaking on mama's little boy in the hood. Bruh. Cube. Oh, Cube. A tier. Without question, A tier. Like I said, that beat just brings that beat is dark and he's just going in. A tier for me. A tier without question. And I'll go this far. I'm gonna go this far. If this song had the impact of Ice Cube Killer, which is the one that most people talk about, if this song had the impact of Ice Cube Killer, I put it in S tier. I put it in S tier if it had the impact. If it had the it didn't know. It did not have an impact. Ice Cube Killer had a bigger impact. If this one had that impact, I put it in S tier. I thought this was a dominant performance, man. He absolutely smashed this joint, man. Smashed it.
It really, I ain't gonna lie, they really did go. I mean, I'm not gonna argue with the A tier. I'm not gonna argue with it. I just feel like I hear what you're saying about the beat. And Jadakiss did choose a crazy ass beat to diss a nigga. Facts. But but I don't know if it's like I'm not gonna, you know what? I'm not gonna argue with the A tier. This could be one of the joints we come back to. I'm not gonna argue with the A tier for sure.
But
I just feel like
you don't quite think it's A tier. Let me ask you this: do you think that it's not A tier, or do you think it's not A tier based on the fact we put the Jada song in B tier? Like, do you think both of them?
Yeah, the Jada song. I think like anything that could be A tier, you have to compare it to the best of B tier. The Jada Kiss is literally the best of the B tier, right? And I'm feeling like we could have easily put Jada in the A tier, right? But we could have easily put this in A tier also. You see what I'm saying? I feel like the B tier is where we're gonna do the most reviews at, yo. The B tier is gonna be that we might come back and say I might come back and say this is A tier. We might come back and say, look, we put this song in A tier, and that song is way better than this. This got to be S tier now. You see what I'm saying?
That's going to happen. That's definitely going to happen.
So I think but the only reason I can't say you're right. The only reason I can't say it's A tier is because we have the Kiss in B tier, and the Kiss is right there with it lyrically. I don't like I give it to you. The beat isn't there, and actually, the Kiss had a little bit more of an impact than this did. Actually, a little bit more because Kiss set the streets on fire when they dissed. It just didn't affect Beanie as much as most detrimental disses do to most artists. So it's hard for me to look at this and look at the Kiss and say Son of a Kiss is B tier, but this is A tier. Like it's kind of hard. Yeah.
That's fair. Stan, what do you
Which
say?
is why I'm not going to argue with the A tier.
I'm not gonna argue with it because again, it's all about taste. I mean, I just didn't particularly care for the Jada Kiss Beanie Siegel stuff. That's just all I'm gonna say. I'll leave it at that. I didn't
I don't
particularly
know.
care for it.
Okay, all right.
I
We
didn't
don't. We
particularly.
don't. We don't.
I didn't care for it based. I didn't care for
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm not going.
we could put it we could put it in A. We could put it in A right now. We got two A's and one B, right? So we could put it in A right now. But I think this is going to be one of them anchor songs where we look at it and say, if this is A, then or how can we put this in A when we have this in A, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be that's another anchor song. You might need to put a star by that one, Reg.
See, for me, it's not going to be. It's not going to me. I feel more passionately that this should be A tier to the point where you could say the case that Jadakiss should just come up a tier. But I'm not. I wouldn't move this off of A. I think this song was tremendous. I wouldn't move this off of A. But I was on the fence with putting the Jadakiss song in the A tier. It
Right.
just didn't. I need that song to be harder, man. I know we're not. I don't want to deviate from this, but I just want that Jadakiss song should have been harder. It should have been in your face. I'm smacking you, dissing the shit out you. I feel like the beat is what made it more bouncy and all that, and not just I'm
Yeah.
coming
Made it
straight
more
at your neck.
comical.
Yeah, I'm coming
Yeah.
at your neck. Like he came at his neck, like
He did.
from the
He did.
start. It's like, nah, we ain't playing. So that's how I look at it. But all right, we can move on. All right, so now we have the response, King of the Hill, Westside Connection. And with this one, I guess I'll start with Kurt. Where do you want to put this one at?
Um Ice Cube first verse in this, first of all, shout out to Dub C. The first verse in this is a little bit it's a little bit it's a little bit moist. Um Dub C pick Dub C picks it up a little bit. But that third verse that come from Ice Cube when he said, "Bro, you ain't really no Mexican," called him a white boy trying to be a Mexican. Oh, that third verse is just like, oh, but I feel like he should have brought that energy throughout the whole. And don't get it twisted, they talking gangster. They talking gangster. Like you need a guy like Dub C. Dub C is one of them guys that ain't got bars. He just rhyme while he say a lot of real shit. Like he's not gonna give you no bars,
It was
but he
Mac 10
gonna
on the
give you,
song. It was Mac 10 on
huh?
the song. It was Mac
That
10
was
on the
Mac 10 in the second
not Mac.
verse.
Yeah, it was Mac 10. Yeah, nah.
It was
Dub C
Mac
it.
10.
actually,
Mac
Okay, I'm
10.
sorry.
Dub
Yeah,
C actually
Mac
didn't
10.
want to
Mac.
participate. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
Dub
okay,
C.
okay. So
He
Mac
stayed
10, I should say.
neutral.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Mac 10. I'm sorry.
yeah. I was.
But that third verse from Ice Cube is so despicable, bro. It is like, and I feel like if he brings that energy in the first verse, because the first verse he just talking gangster. You know what I'm saying? But that second verse, he puts Be Real to the side and he says, "Listen, let me tell you how I
Mhm.
really feel about your ass, nigga."
Mhm.
And he let Be Real have it. Um, it's not it's not it's not a bad diss song, okay? But it's not enough. It's not enough. Like I said, the first verse just talking gangster. Second verse talking gangster. The third verse is where the diss. The third verse is where the diss occurs for real, for real. He said this little shit or whatever in the first two verses between him and Mac. But the third verse is where it really happens at, okay? And I need that specific energy that he had in the third verse. Because the cadence stays the same. Ice Cube is going to yell when he rap regardless. It don't matter. Ice Cube could be talking about a woman and he going to yell. That's just how he raps. Very loud, very vocal. But I didn't get that I didn't get like that hawk you down. He hawks him down in the third verse. And I didn't get that the whole song. So this is tough. Y'all gonna be mad at me. Y'all gonna be mad at me. But I'm putting it in the C tier, bro.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, bro. Maybe B, yo. I'm staying today, bro. Maybe B, yo. I'm not. Okay, you know what? I'll give him a B tier. I put it in the B tier. It's only really one verse disses. It's three verses. It's only one real diss verse for real, yo, in the whole joint. This first verse, he just talking gangster. I mean, Mac 10, he does what he do, but the third verse is the actual diss, and it's two other verses. So, I mean, okay, B. I mean, at best B. I just didn't get that satisfaction that I got like in that third verse. Like if that whole song is like the third verse, we're probably looking at my maybe a S tier track. But yeah, man. I know y'all, like I said, I know y'all gonna be mad at me, but I see this as being like a C or B, man. A B at most, like a mid-tier B. I wasn't really too impressed by this one. They got they ass. Ice Cube got his ass whooped in this battle, by the way. I just want you to know, like, just put that out there. But I wasn't really that impressed by the entirety of the song. Now, when you get to the third verse, that's something totally different. But it was just not there for the whole song. So, um, for the sake of the respect of the art form, being that they did cover everything and they did stick to the rubric, um, I'll give it a B, man. Y'all go ahead and chop me up. Go ahead and chop me up.
So I'm actually gonna go to Stan, but real quick before I go to Stan. So Kurt, like, okay, so it's like two songs could technically be in the same tier, but one be better. Like, there's levels even to the tiers, right? So like, a song could be in a B tier, and another song could be in the B tier, but one's gonna be better. It's gonna be higher up in the B tier. So it's not like if you have them in the same thing, it's just saying that they're exactly equal. Like there's hierarchy even within the tiers, right? So I just want to make sure that's clear. You know what I mean?
What I'm saying is where it's like, how can I say it? I wasn't really. It's not even. Well, yeah. Well, that like by what you saying, I would put it in a B tier then,
Okay.
like a lower class, maybe a mid
Okay.
tier B. Man, I
That's fine.
wasn't really truly impressed with the overall of the song. Like the third verse, like I say, is the shit. We classic shit, but it's mid tier B, man. Mid tier B at best. At best.
Okay. Stan, I'll go to you.
I can't disagree like any more than I just can't disagree. It's just an A tier song. What the fuck is you talking about, man? And again, I understand. Like we're talking about these songs on their own merit, not trying to compare them to other songs that we've done, other songs. I mean, we can do that another time. But right now, we talk about these songs on their own merit. Ice Cube is one of the best like battle rap diss rappers that we've had. I mean, No Vaseline says speaks for itself. This one, he turns it up on the third verse, definitely. And that third verse is vicious. Excuse me, but I give it an 8. I put that in an 8 tier, bro. I'm not saying that it's better than the No Rest for the Wicked. I'm not gonna say that yet. But Cube isn't someone you don't mess with. But yeah, I will agree that I think that if we looked at all the songs totality, yeah, I think Cypress Hill won.
They definitely, they
Um,
definitely won.
I think we could go. Yeah, I would agree with you on that. But to put that shit in a B tier or a C tier is a little much for me. I don't agree with that. That's an A tier record. I don't again not S tier because I don't think that either one of the songs had the impact to be an S tier like top of the level. But this is an underrated battle from the '90s that needs to be talked about a little bit more. Like I'm putting that in the A tier. The Cube verse for the third verse in particular is what puts it in that for me. Because he absolutely just goes at the neck of all those niggas. You know, just goes at them all. Yeah, I respectfully disagree. Disagree with you.
It's
Respectfully.
just like when we like listen, man. we put some very and not the Kiss song is what we like. It's probably the best B-Tier song we have, but we've put some very good battle songs in B-Tier. Like, and I'm saying, like, I get what you're saying. Like, let's just take that for what it is. But we do have to have a standard to compare it against, bro. You know, we compare great boxers to great boxers, great basketball players to great basketball players, right? Like we comparing diss songs to other diss songs. And when I look at the songs that we put in A and some of the songs we put in B, I don't like I don't see this particular song being as impressive as other songs we have rated in the B and A tier. So I get what you're saying though, Stan, because we'll be stuck here all day if we get to comparing this song to that song and that song to this song. But we do have to have we do have to have a standard to hold these songs against, you know. So I just don't see it being that higher than a mid tier B. It's just my opinion.
No, that's fine. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you your opinion is stupid. You know, no, hell no. I'm not gonna say that. I just disagree. I just disagree, but I'm not gonna sit here and tell you this like, nigga, you stupid. No, I ain't gonna say it that. Nothing like that.
I wonder
I
what
just,
Reggie got.
yeah. Let Reggie get into that shit because, like,
Let's see what you
I just,
got, Reggie.
yeah, I don't see how you can say that, but that's just
So,
me.
so, so the thing is, I think we should though. I think we should, make the tier list has to make sense. So I don't think it's a bad thing to say, yo, like we put this here, we put this here. I don't think that's a bad thing to do. I know for time constraints we could be here all day, like you said, but I don't think it's a bad thing to say, yo, other songs are in this tier. So the funny thing is, I actually agree with both of y'all. I think that like you said, the first verse Cube, he was just setting them up though. He was just getting ready, getting warmed up. Then Mac 10 just gave it to him as well. Then that third verse, like you said, is where he goes in. But we put a song uh like that, Kendrick Lamar. We put that in the A tier. I mean, we got to fast forward through the first verse. I mean, at least I can listen to the Ice Cube's first verse and Mac 10's second verse. At least I can listen to it. Like we put that shit in the A tier. So I mean, what gives here? Like I don't think that you know what I'm saying. Like
But
we
Future
might
was
we,
actually dissing though. He was trying to diss though.
but it was
He just
trash though.
garbage.
It was trash though. Like I would put Mac 10's verse as better than what Future gave. And I certainly would give Ice Cube's first verse better. So maybe we need to reevaluate that one
But
for
like that is more about A tier because of
the
the
moment
impact and what it's responsible for.
for sure.
That's really what puts like that as A tier
That's fair.
because of the impact and what it's responsible for.
That's fair.
But
That's
you're
fair.
right though. Mac 10 a dog the shit out of Future.
But man, we get to that third
uh,
verse. Everybody in the ghetto know what you're doing. One white boy and two fucking Cubans claiming that you're loco, but you ain't Mexican. Listen to No Vaseline before you try to flex again. Come on, man. Get them out of here. Stick it like King Kong and play ping pong with this fake ass Cheech and Chong. Oh my god, man! Ice Cube.
yo, Ice Cube went dumb, yo. He went dumb.
You know
Said
what?
one white boy and two
Fucking
Cubans.
Cubans. And you know what's crazy though? Like, and I have to like reference back to something I said in the last video is that I miss how we used to take in battles back then, right? Because like now, if this battle took place now and he said that bar, instead of laughing like we're doing, people will say, "Oh, is he actually Mexican? Let's look it up. Oh, his parents is such and such. Oh, he's not. He is
Yeah,
Mexican. No,
yeah.
that line is whack. No, it's a battle. I'm dissing you. It's a battle. We're not on the witness stand. It's a battle. But I just miss that. I miss that aspect of like we could just say some bullshit if it's funny and it hits. It hits,
Yeah,
right?
we control the
We
actual
gotta do
trolling.
a bunch of research to see if the line makes sense. I just hate that now. But yeah, I thought the song was dope. But I agree with Kurt is that like so since we're putting it in the tier list, right? I've now developed another thing. Remember, I talk about if it's a party, if it's a dinner party, and all the songs and the tiers get invited to the party, can it sit down at the table? That's a good way to gauge it. And I think that with Jadakiss's song in the B tier, we've already established that that's going to be like at his table. I think this song, he's sitting right next to him. He's like the guest of honor right next to him, and they sitting at the same table, and they're both sitting there eating the steak, reminiscing like, damn, I almost had them niggas, man. Like that, our song was almost there. We almost had them. So I would put this in the high echelon of the B tier. So I agree with Kurt. It should be B tier, but I think it's higher on the B tier that you're saying. I don't think it's like mid, lower B tier. I think this is high B tier, right there at the top of the B tier. That's how I look at it.
I feel like Jadakiss steak is bigger. Like he got a better baked potato. You know what I'm saying? Like he got a better glass of wine. They sitting at the same table, but Jadakiss, his meal was bigger than his, more expensive. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about that. I think it's just about the same. I think they both sitting there toasting wine, saying like, "Man, we almost had that joint, man." I think because I don't think that you say he got his ass. I don't know if it's an ass whoop, but I think they lost. But I don't think it's an ass whoop. But I think it was a good battle. It was a really competitive battle. But I do think Cypress Hill got it. So yeah, I say B. I say high B, high B.
That's fair. That's fair.
I ain't gonna argue that.
Nah, he got his ass whooped though, Reds. Look who we about to listen to. Look who he got his ass whooped.
He didn't get his ass whooped though. Like he didn't get his ass.
He got beat by if this was basketball, he got beat by like 12. He got beat by double figures, bro. It wasn't like a 2-point game in overtime. He got beat by like 8 to 12 points, bro.
Well, wait till what I'm going to say when we talk about the Ice Cube Killer song. We'll do that in a different video, but you might not like what I have to say about that one. But all right, we're going to move on. Rick Ross, Champagne Moments. Now, this was a response to Drake's push-up song. Because if you remember Drake on push-ups, Drake got at a lot of people, and Rick Ross was one of the targets that he went at. And so Rick Ross, he responded pretty quickly. If I'm not mistaken, he came out the next day with this joint, and he went and got at it on this one. And the thing is, I'm gonna start with you, Kurt, because Rick Ross, he covered the criteria that you talk about. He shot a video. It's a video for this song. It's a crispy video too. It's like HD plus, man. That video is clear, man. It's a beautiful video, and he dissing them. You know what I'm saying? So. Rick Ross, Champagne Moments, man. He covered the criteria, Kurt. So what we putting this at?
He did cover the criteria. He definitely did. He definitely covered the criteria. And I was actually I was kind of shocked that he responded before Kendrick did. The way he came out, and it just happens. It's just that Rick Ross, a lot of the stuff that he said, man, it's like it doesn't hit the same because we know you got how much money you got off of Drake. We know how much you know what I mean. But we'll talk about the song and actuality. I mean, he just basically called him a white boy, man. And it's like he was beating this dead horse. Like he didn't really have nothing to say, but you're a white boy. Like that's all he could say to him. You're a white boy. So what? You're not from the culture. Like that's all he could say to him. Not really impressed by it, although he did cover all of the criteria. I just felt like he only had one thing to say about Drake, and it's like he just kept pounding that in our heads. Like it wasn't a very well-rounded diss, I should say. But he did cover the criteria, and he did have a couple bars in there. Didn't really hit the streets. Wasn't that big of an impact. It was more so like, damn, Rick Ross dissed Drake. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that was it. You know what I mean? So, despite the crispy ass video and the dope ass beat, I'm gonna put this in the C tier, man. Low class B.
Yeah, I don't think B has any place to be talked about with this song, and I don't think it's. I I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world, man. But like the impact of this song was non-existent. And you remember when I was talking about push-ups and I was saying how Drake should absolutely have dissed them too. You got to knock out the putties, right? And then you get to the main
Right.
thing. Well, this song was pretty much like on the Power Rangers when every so often the putties would get a hit in. Remember, like every so often the putties would actually hit them and knock them down, and then they get dealt with. So that's what this was. This was the putty getting a hit in. You know.
Finally, he knocked the little sparks out of him, yo.
Yeah, knock a little spark out of him real quick, and then he got up and knocked him right in the clay. So
that's the second time you refer to Rick Ross as a putty on this podcast.
Yo, but he really was a putty in this battle, yo. He really was a putty in this battle, though, yo.
So I mean, the putty definitely it got a hit in though. He got a hit in. He said, and really, it's like a typical Rick Ross song. It's carried by the beat and carried by his flow, and just doesn't really have a lot in between that. But he said, I like his moves, but he never had a fight in school. Always ran. Another nigga had to write your grooves. Flow, copy and paste. Weezy gave you the juice. Another white boy at the park want to hang with the crew. It ain't nothing like spectacular, but the flow it's a nice little flow. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice little flow.
And Reggie, I know you searched for something. And that was the best you could get out of that motherfucker.
No, I got something else. He said, look me right in the face. He beginning to shake. I told niggas stay scheming. I predicted my fate. Got more money than you. Fuck you want me to say? 50 mil for the crib. Where you want me to stay? I could shoot up the block. I got pictures to paint. Let me DM your hoe, but the bitches you can't. What do you think?
Typical Rick Ross. Huh? He basically said it. It's typical Rick Ross.
That don't sound different from his regular songs that he put on the radio. For real.
He said, I let you get on my songs. It was good for your face, but a bitch nigga is home. There's no room for debate. It ain't nothing spectacular, but like I said, the putty gets a hit in. He got his little shot in. But I'm putting in the D tier. No real impact. I'm putting in the D tier. No real impact. I mean, it was good to see the putty get the shot in, but like ultimately, like it doesn't have enough fire nor enough impact to even belong in even the C tier to me. Because if we start talking about the C tier, I mean, we got some solid diss records in the C tier.
We do.
I know Stan doesn't want to hear this, but I mean, Rap Elvis is in the C tier. This isn't better than that. So like right off, it's not, Stan. So right off, rip, it's not. So like right off rip, it's not. It don't belong up there. I don't think this is better than Macho Man Randy Savage Be a Man. It's not better than that neither. So I think
it need to be next to the MC Hammer. Testify more.
Yeah, it's better than that though. I'm
gonna pretend you ain't say that.
It's in the upper end of the D. I think it's in the upper end of the D tier. It's one of the better.
Cream of the crop D.
Yeah, it's cream of the crop D tier. But I'm gonna go with the D tier, and I'll throw it to Stan.
Man, what is y'all? I'm not even going to dignify the fact you said this shit was worse than the Macho Man Randy Savage diss track. I'm not even going to dignify. You know what? Like you said, Reg, it was a typical Rick Ross song. Like if you've heard one Rick Ross song, you heard a million of them. And I ain't got nothing against Rick Ross. Rick Ross is a great like riding the car rapper.
Right.
Mm-hmm. His beats are always dope. His flow, he rides the beats very well, but he doesn't really say anything of any substance in any of the songs. And this song is just the typical Rick Ross song. I put this one in the C tier. It has zero impact on the battles. I think it's the second time Reggie referred to Rick Ross as a putty or a foot soldier, basically.
He is though, yo.
I don't, and again, I think it's disrespectful to refer to Rick Ross as that because he's not a high caliber MC, but he's mid caliber of it. He's a big enough star that he's not somebody a fucking foot soldier. I'm saying like, but I understand
what I guess we got to upgrade him to Gordon. I guess we got to
I
upgrade him to Gordon. I guess like
some
Rita Repulsa send Gordon
yeah
down.
Goldar. It was Goldar.
yeah,
Goldar, yeah.
Yeah, Goldar.
the gold monster dude. Yeah, it's something like that. But yeah, I'm not gonna call a nigga a putty. But this song had no impact on the shit with Kendrick and Drake, and Drake shut it down, shut him down again in the Family Matters joint. I put it in C tier. I wouldn't put it in D tier because it's not garbage. Because I remember listening to it the first time I heard it, I thought it was corny as fuck. Because he kept talking about a white boy. I mean, this shit corny, yo. And you just jumping on the motherfucking bandwagon and shit. Like dissing
Hmm.
Drake. But when I listened to it a few times, I was like, well, it's not terrible, but again, it's a typical Rick Ross song. Ross has some good
Yes.
music, but music he's got some good shit, some shit y'all can play. But I mean, it's typical, good flow, nice beat, and he carries the beat very well. He's very good at that. But as far as the substance and what he was saying, it's a C. But I put it high C. When he put it anywhere in low beat, it's high C tier. And no, it's not. It's better than that fucking Randy Savage shit, man. Come on.
Not as a diss. Not as a diss
Yes, it
record is
is.
not. As a
No, no,
song,
no, no.
no. As a song, yeah, it's better. But as a diss, I don't think. I think that as a song, I would put it pretty high on. I like the beat. I like his flow. But we're grading the diss record, and
The this as a this,
as a
yes.
diss record, it's not better than that. Like Macho Man actually was dissing him. Like this is just like it's a bunch
Macho
of
Man
just
had bars,
yeah,
yo.
he had bars on that song, like actual battle bars. I'm not saying it was like technically proficient, but he had actual battle bars. Like this is just it's just light. It's just real light to me. So that's why I think it belongs in
It's
D.
no different. It's no different from you could listen. You could take that song and listen to Maybach music and hear the same substance being talked about. How much money he got, how much money other nigga don't got. That's in all his music. That's all his music, bro. That's literally all his music. So it's no distinction. I guess he was dissing Drake his whole career then.
Yeah,
Cause that's
and
all he talk about is I got this much money, I got this nigga cutting my grass, I got this nigga cooking for me.
yeah, and I can't like I don't think that you can say Rick Ross is Goldar in the Power Rangers example because when Goldar got involved in the fight, like it actually got serious. Like oh shit, Goldar coming down here. Like it wasn't a game when Goldar. Like if you remember,
That is
Goldar was
true.
yeah, like
That is true. He was
Goldar was the
second in
reason.
command.
Right. He's the reason why they lost the Green Ranger power because Goldar they couldn't beat Goldar. So like nah, like
He
he's like
couldn't
this
be.
was not
Oh,
Goldar
enough of
coming there.
this.
This was a putty. It's
Enough of
facts
this,
though.
man.
It's
He is
facts.
a putty, yo.
He's a
He's a
putty.
putty, yo. He's a putty.
All right, so
Oh,
I say
okay. He got to be a putty.
It's so disrespectful to Rick Ross, man.
you
In
being
this
disrespectful to
battle, not
Goldar.
in rap, and
Yeah,
not
in the
in rap.
battle.
We're not saying in rap, but in this battle, Rick Ross was a putty, bro.
I think you being disrespectful to Goldar. Like, yo, when Goldar came
Oh,
down,
Let
it was
me-
serious. It was serious when Goldar came down, dude. It wasn't
I'm
serious
it
when
asking
was
Eminem
though,
came down.
yo.
Yeah.
I'm asking you being
Hey, yo, you know what's
disrespectful.
crazy? You know what's crazy? We called Rick Ross a putty, and he always talked about how he pushing P. And to be the putty, all you had to do was push the P.
Oh my God. Bars. Bars.
Ah,
All right. All right. So
that's crazy.
I say D tier. Y'all say C.
Yeah, you got to at least
I
put him in C, Reg.
All right.
B is a bit much.
Yeah, I'm not putting a D, man. This is C tier
All right.
at best.
All right. So now we're gonna do Kendrick Lamar 616 in LA. This was a back-to-back situation because he had just dropped Euphoria, and then Kendrick came with this one. So I'm gonna go first, man. And this I'm gonna kind of relate back to what I was saying about the Rick Ross song. Like as a song, I think this song is phenomenal. As a matter of fact, like when I first heard this song, like I was like, yo, battle aside, this song is making me think Kendrick is going to get back on track musically because like I mean I stand alone on this, but like I think Kendrick's music just has kind of fallen off a bit since To Pimp a Butterfly. So when I heard this, I'm like, yo, fuck the battle aside, yo, it's about to get serious with him musically. I love the beat that he rapped over. I love like even though the first verse isn't like really a lot of dissonance. I just like the actual verse. When he says to raise my hands to the fallen sky, I fantasize me jumping planets, immortalized. I correspond, three angels watching me all the time. Put my children to sleep with a prayer and close my eyes. Definition of peace. Like, yo, that was like, that's a beautiful poetic verse, man. Like, I thought that like Kendrick was getting back musically, you know, and then GNX,
GNX.
yeah, GNX came out, and that, you know, that I was incorrect that he was getting back on track musically. But that's how I felt at the time. I thought maybe he was getting back. Unfortunately, GNX proved me wrong. But as a
Mm-hmm.
song, I thought this was phenomenal. But as a diss, it was okay. It was all right. Yeah, I like the part when he's the. It was fun till you start putting money in the streets. Then they lost money because they came back with no receipts. Sorry, I live a boring life. I love peace, but war ready. If the world is ready to see you bleed to Elohim, KTW, you know you can't sleep. These images trouble you. The wires in your circle should puzzle you. If you were street smart, then you would have caught your entourage is only to hustle you. That shit was dope. I love how he's kind of
Mm-hmm.
putting that thing in his head that maybe I got some leaks and all that. So I thought it was dope. But for me, as a diss, it was just all right. It was just all right. So this is why I very much disagree with our last conversation, because I would put this song in the C tier. I put it in the C.
Wow.
So I'm gonna throw it to Stan. Where would you put 616 in LA?
Probably B tier. So it's a better song than it is a diss record. I do agree with that part. Like it is better. These Kendrick songs are interesting to try to talk about because obviously everybody talks about the one song, but there were a bunch of songs in this shit, and they were all probably better than the one song everybody talks about. Like this song was, again, I hadn't heard it in a while. When I went back and listened to it, I was like, "This shit is hard, man. It's a dope record. It's just not a great diss record." So I'll probably put it in the B tier just for being a great record and referencing Drake on there. And but it's not impactful. It's not as impactful as Meet the Grams. And of course, Not Like Us is whatever it is, you know, whatever you think it is. But it's not as impactful as Meet the Grams or Euphoria. It's just not as impactful as those songs. But it's a great fucking song. It shows you how good Kendrick is as a rapper. And I don't know what's with the GNX slander. That album is actually very good. So I don't know what that's all about. I don't know why you have a problem with that album, but
Because it's basic. Even a lot of shit. I'm sorry. Sidebar. GNX. GNX. Just a little sidebar before I go. Either a lot of shit that he said went over my head because he talking in code, or that's just a basic ass album. Like, I'm
It's
sorry.
basic. It's basic.
Okay.
When we reviewed the album, I gave the album a 6. It's like I gave it a 6.5. And I was listening to it like last week, and that was a very generous score. I'll just say that. It was a very, very
Yeah,
generous score.
outside of Reincarnated, Reincarnated is the only, like, one of the only songs that make me feel like it's Kendrick Lamar. But you know what? I'm not even gonna do it
Yeah.
all because
Yeah, go ahead.
just a basic ass album. Three mics at best. I just had to say that. Listen, but I do agree with Stan, bro. I think it's a little bit too good to be C. I think it's too good to be C. I don't think it's, I don't think it's like super. I don't think it's like a monster. I don't think it's like killing the game, but it's too good to be in a C class. Um, I felt like this was. I felt like he's playing John Harbaugh. He's playing John Harbaugh ball. You know, when John Harbaugh get up 13, he sit on the block, he stop blitzing, we start trying to run the clock. I felt like he knew he was up by like 2 touchdowns, so he was like, "Let me just put something out there to keep it, just to keep your head going. We still gonna compete, but we ain't gonna go into the game plan." And I think that's what this was. This was like it's like a coaster, like a coaster. You know what I'm saying? Like it felt like this is my worst. This is one of my worst disses. So let me put it directly because you know he recorded all of these shits and he was just lining them up, and it was just like, okay, I hit him hard, you know, with a body shot. So let me just jab him a little bit this one. So
Right.
but it's too good to be C though. Don't think he's not. I don't think it's a world beater. I don't think it's like the most grandioso song that he's made, or this, I should say. But I feel like it's too good to be C. So I'm gonna go B.
But is it good enough to be B? You think it's better than King right in front of you? You think it's better than King of the Hill? Or should it be in the same thing? Like
No,
if it's in the if we're having the party, if we're having the tier list party, Ice Cube and this song is there, 616 in LA, it's like, hey, what's up, man? I mean, you think it belongs in that party? Is it better than we put J. Cole's when he cried and apologized with the song? We put that in C tier. This is better than that.
Yeah, but that's only in C tier because he apologized though in the impact.
That's true.
That's not in C tier. That's not in C tier based off of the music.
Yeah, for sure.
No, y'all put that shit in C tier because of that shit. I didn't do that. That's what y'all did. I didn't do that shit at all. I told that.
We put
we
put Kill Shot. Eminem's Kill Shot was B tier. It's better than that. No.
Is it? Not as a Kill Shot is in B tier. Yeah. Kill Shot is in B tier. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm not saying it's better than Kill Shot, but
is it in the same thing? It's a diss, as a diss, not as a song, as a diss record. That's why that Rick Ross shit should be in D tier, because y'all are
probably
looking
not
at it as a song.
As a song.
As a song, that Rick Ross shit should be D tier as a diss. And I feel like 16 LA should be C tier as a diss record. As a song, A. It's an A tier song, but I don't think it's a B tier diss record. Like what's the lines that really hit to you? Like, to me, this was a setup song. It was I'm back to back.
You might be right about that. It might be cream of the crop C. You might be right about that, because if you think of it as a song, see, being that these songs came like that, it's hard to not bunch them in succession, right?
Right.
So it's like one diss song represents all 6 diss songs, right?
But that's very true. That's very true.
But if we do this individually as a diss, you might be right about that. It might be high class C. It might be. But I just feel like I don't know why. Maybe it is the nostalgia of the actual battle, but I feel like it's being disrespectful by putting it in C.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really tell you why it should be in B, especially like with the point you just made. Can't really tell you why I would negate that to put it in B. I just feel like it's real disrespectful to put it in B. I mean, to put it in C. I'm sorry.
I feel that. So I can. We had to, like you said, we review. So I can put.
We're gonna review. We definitely gonna review.
What do you say? You good with B?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll put it in B tier because this is a dope song. I mean, like I said, I feel like it's not. I just don't feel like it's an impact. It wasn't as impactful as the other Kendrick joints. That's how I feel about it. But it's dope. It's a dope record. I just don't think it was impactful as the other diss records that Kendrick put out. But again, I'm not. It's disrespectful to put it in C, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's not. It's
okay.
You put it in the same tiers. You put the fucking Macho Man Randy Savage. Come on.
As a diss, yo.
No,
bro, I would not be riding down the street listening to Macho Man Randy Savage, bro.
Look, you put the shit in this fucking list, and I'm gonna reference it every time you do say something. You put it in there. You want to reference we do. We gonna reference the fucking Macho Man Randy Savage. The fucking C tier and shit, and you will put same records as Kendrick Lamar. No, man, we're not doing that. No.
Hey yo, we do got bad blood in the C tier too, yo.
I think we got it.
You got fucking Taylor Swift. Fucking Taylor Swift song.
Hey yo, that was a legit diss song, bro.
All right, come on, guys. Move on. Let's move back. Let's move. All right. So the next song we're gonna do is the "Buried Alive" Part 2 by Drake. So this one is interesting because for those that don't know, on Drake's "Take Care" album, there's a song called "Buried Alive," and that song is only Kendrick. It's on Drake's album, but Drake pretty much gave Kendrick the whole song to shine or whatever. So then Drake took the song, took the beat, and did his own version of it, and he's like mocking Kendrick on the song. It's hilarious. Um, I'll go first. I gotta be honest, man. I have a very difficult time of where to put this on the tier list because it's hilarious. Like the angle that he took is hilarious. The bars are excellent, but it's just not enough of them. Like the song is short, and Drake made a huge mistake here because this song should have been a legitimate response. He only put this on, I believe, his Instagram. So a lot of people didn't even get to like hear this. And he put it out on his Instagram right before he did Family Matters. So everybody went to Family Matters, and this one kind of got forgotten about. Like to me, this should have been a response. But I think what it was, I mean, I pretty much know what it was. It was the power of Euphoria. Like in boxing, you step in and you feel that power. He's like, okay, I gotta really be careful when I'm coming back in now. He felt the power, and I think that he felt like if he put this out, it would have been like, oh, the battle's over because it's not better than Euphoria. But I think that he either should have stapled this song on Family Matters, like the beginning of Family Matters, or he should have put it out as a legitimate response. I think the reason why he didn't staple it on Family Matters is because he wanted to have the whole angle of when Kendrick said, you know, fuck Sneak this, and I hope you came with 3 switches, and then Family Matters gave him 3 beat switches. I think he wanted that little thing. That's why he didn't do it. But I don't think that was worth it. I would have stapled this on Family Matters to make Family Matters even more potent. But the shit is dope, man. I mean, he is getting at him when he say to react like an infant whenever I'm mentioned. It's like you need tension to get attention. You always say that you want to bury me alive. Jealousy disguised as your motherfucking pride. I took you on your first tour with us trying to catch a vibe. I was headline, you were standing on the side. Brought that other whole nigga along for the ride. First time people lined up for your ass. Now 2 pussy niggas getting out of line. You've been hating hard for a very long time. Like that shit is dope. It's dope. It's hitting them. It's cutting them directly. But man, I just wish he made it longer. Like if he had made this a good, you know,
give me another 67 seconds on it.
Yeah, it would have been really good. But that and the fact that it just didn't make like the impact because he didn't allow it to is why I kind of have to like deduct some points for it. But it's like it's hard for me.
It's so good though.
It's so good. That's the problem. It's such a good diss song. It's I'm gonna put it in B, but I don't even think it should.
I think I'm gonna agree with your B though, Rage, and I'm gonna tell you why. What you said about the AI song is what this song should have been. This is the troll song.
Yeah.
You're gonna troll, you're gonna laugh at niggas, laugh about how I put you on, laugh about this is the troll song. This is how he was supposed to troll. Okay? I'm not mad at somebody trolling during a battle. We want battles to be serious and hard bars, but I'm not mad at a nigga trolling. This is how you troll, excuse me. Just like you say, it wasn't long enough. It just wasn't enough. It was like, bro, this could have been one of your like best diss tracks. Like this song is about 60 seconds, and maybe like 60 seconds of bars and maybe like 20 seconds of shit talk. Now they talk shit at the end of the battle. Man, nigga, I put you on. How you gonna treat me like this? Like if he could have gave me about 80 more seconds, 60 seconds of bars, 20 seconds of him talking shit, this might be S tier.
Possibly. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I agree with you, yo. He missed out on a grand opportunity with this song, bro. A grand opportunity, bro. It's like, bro, you did everything we needed you to do, but you gave me a personal pan pizza though, bro. You know what I mean? I asked for meat lovers. This is the best meat lovers that I possibly can have, but it's a personal pan. Like nobody else can eat from this, bro. And by the time I start enjoying it, it's over. It's a fucking personal pan pizza, yo. It's a personal pan pizza, bro. He should have gave us an extra large. Yeah, he should have gave us an extra large with stuffed crust, and this might have changed the battle.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put it in B because it's too good to be in C, and it's
Yeah.
not enough to be in A. So I'm gonna give you a B.
I respect it, man. That was dope. Nicely done, Kurt.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Stan, what you got?
Uh, I probably put it in this B tier. And really, I really was going. I at first was going to give it an incomplete because it wasn't long enough. So
He
at
said
first I was going.
incomplete.
I was at first going to give it. I was going to not give it a rating because it was too short. But I figured I had to do. I had to give it some sort of rating because at first I was
Yeah.
like, I had never heard it before until I heard it the other day. Never heard it
Oh,
before.
okay. Okay.
Wow.
I had never heard it before because I had never fucking heard of it. I again, it kind of came and went because the Family
Right.
Guy joint came out right around the same time. So when I heard it, I was like, "That's okay, but it's too short." And I was gonna give it incomplete, but I'll put it in the B tier because the concept is funny and it was pretty decent, but it's too short. And again, Drake with all these Drake and Kendrick records, there were so many of them that some of them did get kind of lost in the sauce, and this is one of them that got lost in the sauce because there's just so many records that came out between the two of them, especially that several day period that shit just kind of got lost. So it didn't have any impact at all. But the idea of it is actually pretty good. The idea of taking a song that you let Kendrick do on and doing it over, it's a very good idea. And it could have been a lot more than what it was had he strategically placed it differently than what he did. But I give it, I put it in the B tier just based on the concept and the lyrics is funny. The lyrics is dope. The lyrics is cool and the concept, but it's too fucking short for me to do anything else with it. And like I said, I didn't want to disrespect it by giving it incomplete or not or refusing to rate it like I did. I forget whatever song I was. I didn't refuse to rate, but the AI shit, the Drake AI shit, yeah, it's not that. The Drake AI shit I refuse to rate. It will not rate ever again. Will not rate it. No. But this one, I put in the B tier just based on the concept and the lyrics because it's dope. Just too short. And he's the pizza analogy is a very good one because
It
that's basically
was.
what it
That was
was.
amazing.
It was basically what it was. It was too fucking short. It was too short. Before I knew it, was like, oh shit, that's it. So they said I'd never heard it before. I was like, oh shit, that's it. Nah, nah,
Yeah, bro. It's not. It's just not enough. This is how you're supposed to troll, though. Remember, we
Yeah.
was talking about the trolling. I'm not mad at you
Right.
trolling, but this is how it's supposed to. This is how he was supposed to do it, bro. Think about this. If you take that last verse from the AI song and attach it to this, we have a
Yeah.
totally different battle.
Without question. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. All right. We're now gonna move on to a very interesting one here. We got Money Mike in the game, Palm Pilot. So this was a diss record aimed at the young guns. So what's interesting is that like trying to find history on this is not a ton. Um obviously
yeah,
when
I'm
you hear the
shocked at that.
song, you hear that the young gun said, fake ass pimps like Money Mike. And then he took that as, as a diss and he wanted to go ahead and ride on him. But before that, though, the game had just been kind of like picking on Rockefeller artists. If you remember on 300 Bars, he threw a little jab at both Memphis Bleak and the Young Guns, if you remember that on that song. And I know the song is long, so it's hard to remember all those bars, but he did throw a little jab at them on there. The interesting enough, like researching this, I'm sure y'all don't know this. The Young Guns did actually respond. They actually have a diss record that was aimed at the game after 300 Bars. They were rapping for a long time. It was actually decent. It was actually pretty decent. They was getting busy. But they in the game went ahead and responded with this one. Well, and Money Mike is on here too. So it's a tag team. So I'm gonna start with Kurt. Kurt wanted to talk about this, so I'm gonna start with Kurt. Where you got this
Hey
one
yo,
at?
I want to start it, but I really want to hear what Stan got to say.
Okay,
But I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna start it though.
okay,
Um, I felt like when I first heard this, bro, this is like one of those situations where as though everybody shouldn't rap, right? Like everybody shouldn't have a 16. But yo, Cat Williams did all right on this though, yo. He really did. Like he really didn't do bad. Like yo, he did. Like he did better than MC Hammer. You know what I'm saying? Um, which isn't hard, but what I'm saying is he actually had bars for him. He took a version of their beat, right? Like he covered the rubric, and then to be honest, the most disappointing part of the song is the game, bro. He's supposed to murder shit. Like he said a couple things, but Money Mike actually had a couple bars on this, man. You know what I'm saying? Do start off with the fake ass pimps like Money Mike. Like, hold up, what?
Yeah.
Like, whoa, hold up. Let me check my Palm Pilot. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, I put it right there with the Macho Man, that type shit.
Nah,
It,
Macho is better.
The
I'm
macho.
saying it's at the table though. I want to, you know what? This is so hard because I want to give Cat Williams credit, bro. But his flow is so bad, bro.
Hmm.
He say a couple good things. He do say a couple good bars, but his flow is so bad, and the beat, and then the chorus, it gets slapped the fuck down. I must pimp slap you down. Like, you know what, man? I'm gonna just have to be honest. I can't be Cat Williams biased. Put this shit in D, man. It's a D tier this track. The game said nothing. Um, it's very funny though. It's a very good troll. Listen, if you want a good laugh, matter of fact, you might have to put it in C just because it's so entertaining. Because it is a bunch of laughs. This is how like you say, this is how you troll. That's what I'm gonna start saying, Reg. This is how you troll. But it's just bad trolling. So I'm gonna have to put it in B, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Cat. Cat, you did your thing, bro. You tried it, but and like I say, the game is the most disappointing. Like I expect Cat Williams to not be a good rapper, okay? But Game had an opportunity to make that song famous. That man gave him at least the opportunity. If Game wanted to, Game could have rapped 36 bars on that bitch if he wanted to. So I'm gonna put it in detail, but I'm gonna give him A for effort. I'm gonna definitely give him an A for effort, but it belongs in the detail. Shout out to Cat Williams though, man. That's a great troll song. It's just corny.
All right, I'm gonna go to Stan. You give him an A for effort, Stan?
No. Do we have a do we have a F tier?
Yes, we do
Is
have an
low?
F.
Does it go lower than D, or do we go F? Because I'm putting that in F tier. That was hilariously bad. But interesting. Here's the interesting thing. Like, so remember when I said that when I was doing the research for this show, I was going back and looking for the Ice Cube and the Cypress Hill thing and trying like what the fuck was the spark for all this? And I had to go back and read. I didn't do this for this one at all. I didn't give a shit. I didn't care why. I didn't care why game. I didn't care why game was dissing the Young Guns. I didn't care why Cat Williams was involved in it. I didn't give a shit because I'm just like I don't care. I'm sure it was something stupid. This was probably during a time when Gang was doing his passive aggressive trying to get at Jay-Z thing, but not actually dissing Jay-Z. I don't care about this. This is one of those I don't care about it. I didn't care about it when it was happening in the moment. And I surely don't care about it 15, 20 years later. It just was cornball. Game is one of those dudes I have a very complicated feeling about because he's a dope rapper, but he's also corny as fuck. And he's also passive aggressive cornball. I just
But he be having bars sometimes though. That's crazy.
I didn't say again, that's what I'm saying. He's a dope ass rapper.
Yeah.
But the nigga's
Mm-hmm.
corny. The nigga's
Mm-hmm.
passive aggressive. Like yo, if you trying to get at Jay Z, then get at Jay Z. Why are you dissing niggas below? Why are you going at Memphis Bleak? It's like you want to go for Tony Montana. Why are you going after his under
Manolo and them niggas.
yeah? Why are
Yeah.
you going after the underlings? Why are you going after the guys outside holding the guns? What are you doing? And again, Cat Williams is a great comedian, but he's Rapping is not his thing, and he should never do it ever again. I don't think he ever will do it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Stan. This is F tier. Um, and, I mean, I remember hearing it back in the day. I mean, it definitely it was funny, but man, it's so bad. I mean, he got a couple decent lines on there, but it's really bad. And the part that I always, even back when I thought the song was funny, the part that really annoyed me though is like, okay, so if I'm battling somebody, right? Let's say I'm battling somebody who I know has a background as far as being in the streets, right? I'm probably not going to say something about putting hands on them, like at least not in like if I see you, I'm gonna do such and such. I'm not going to do that. And so for him to go on the chorus, it's like if I see you around, I'm gonna pimp slack you down. Like y'all, the Young Guns is from the streets of Philly. I don't. It just doesn't. It just didn't hit for me when he says that. It's like, come on, bro. Like that's not in a battle. Like if you're saying it like in a metaphorical way, like I see you and you know what I mean. If it's like on some rapidy rap stuff, is one thing, but it's another thing when you're like saying, if I see you around, I'm gonna pimp slap you down. You nuts. And it just didn't for me. It just doesn't. It's different when like 50 Cent says it and when like Cat Williams says it, and you talk about two dudes from the streets of Philly. It just didn't. It don't
It
quite
didn't
hit.
hit.
It don't hit for me. And I mean, while he had a couple good lines that are kind of funny, like to me, the Macho Man shit just hit harder because it did feel like he was coming straight at him,
He
like
did go straight at Hogan.
yeah,
They keep laughing at Macho Man, yo.
he had
Macho Man really went at
yo,
this nigga
he
though.
had some actual battle rhymes. He had like battle shit. Like I'm gonna take something and flip it and make it into a diss. Like remember we talked about your movies is trash and he went straight to video and I had a rolling Spider-Man. Like that's how you battle. You take something
That
and
is
kind
how
of like
you battle.
yeah, like there's nothing on here that's like that. This is
You
just a
gotta stop
joke.
with the Macho Man shit, man. You
You
really
know,
gotta
but,
stop
but
with the Macho Man
this
shit.
this is just a joke. And the flow is like so bad, man. I mean,
So bad.
it's so bad. And then, like you said, the game is supposed to come out and at least save it, and he don't do anything. So, like, he didn't take this battle seriously. So I'm not going to take it seriously, and I'm putting it in the F tier. But
You know, we gotta have these. We gotta have like these obscure battles just to have fun with. You
mhm.
know, and to people watching, we're not like trying to say like Cat Williams is a Jay Z ass nigga. We like just to change the pace to switch it up,
Exactly.
like we did with the Macho Man. But we do want them shits to be creative. This was just bad. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? This is just bad.
Yeah, I think we
It's a
spent a lot of
different.
time
It's a
on.
different. It's a different feeling. You know, you gotta have these laughy, laughy, jokey, jokey type shits.
Sure.
But this is bad. Very bad.
All right. So we're going to move on to our last one, which is going to be Eminem. I Remember. This was a diss track aimed at Everlast. And very quickly, I'm going to go through the history of this as far as how this happened. So this beef, technically, it goes all the way back to on the Slim Shady LP. If you remember on the song "Just Don't Give a Fuck," Eminem says, "I'm nicer than Pete, but I'm on a search to crush a milk bone. I'm everlasting. I melt vanilla ice like silicone. I'm ill enough to dish you for no reason. I'm colder than snow season when it's 20 below freezing." So
Whew.
Everlast technically didn't respond to that. I know now Milkbone did respond, and I think Vanilla Else responded. But Everlast,
Milk bone.
yeah, he responded.
I don't know who the fuck that is, so y'all
He's
you
a
can keep
rapper. You
on.
might want to check it out. I might pull
Milk
up.
bone was alright though.
Yeah,
He
he
was
can rap.
alright.
He can rap.
I
So
can't take you seriously with the name, so okay.
so Everlast didn't respond to that, but the reason why I bring that line up is because it could be one of those things where Everlast was just like, oh, all right, okay, let's see where we at. You know, I'm not gonna respond to that because you could look at it as just Slim Shady being Slim Shady, but you know, let's see where we at. And so where it actually starts though is the two were backstage and Eminem saw Everlast and stories vary, but their interaction didn't go the way Everlast thought it was. I don't know if Eminem kind of shunned him. It was like, hey, what's up? And kept walking. I don't know. Stories vary. But whatever it was, their interaction didn't go the way Everlast thought it would. Everlast took offense to it. And on a song with Dilated Peoples called Ears, Drums, Pop Remix, which by the way is a dope posse cut. If y'all never heard, you should check it out. It's a dope posse cut. And on Everlast's verse, he says, I cock my hammer, spit a comment like Haley. I buck 380 on ones that act shady. So obviously, Eminem hears
Mm.
that and takes it as a diss. Important thing to note, though, I want to note this. Everlast was this is well after the fact, after everything was squashed. He was talking on Talib Kweli's podcast, and he actually said that the I spit a comment like Haley was not in reference to Eminem's daughter. He said at the time he didn't even know his daughter's name was Haley. So he really was just using Haley's comment wordplay. So that's what he said. However, being that his daughter is named Haley, Eminem took it away, which it is what it is. That's battle, that's rap. It ain't what you meant, it's how I received it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So after this song came out, Be Real actually reached out to Everlast and was like, yo, so M in his camp wants to know what's up with that line. Like, are you dissing? And Everlast's response to that was, well, what if I am? So once you say that, you pretty much means I declare war. So that brings us to this song, I Remember. I'm gonna start with Stan. Where do you have I Remember?
About C tier. I
Whoa.
didn't care. I didn't care for it. And besides the fact that I didn't care for it, it's one of those I actually do take into account the opponent that you're going after. Everlast, come on now. It's a caliber of person that Eminem would go after back in those days. Because back in those days, Eminem did a lot of dissing white rappers for whatever reason. So like the pot shot, like the little jab at Vanilla Ice, all that shit. He dissed white rappers right back. I don't know why. Pop stars and white rappers he wanted to diss back in the day. I thought the song was corny. Some of his lyrics is it's not terrible. At first, when because full disclosure, never heard the song until I listened to it a couple days ago. Never heard it. I don't give a fuck about Eminem battling Everlast. Like, like, I didn't give a fuck about it 20 years ago when he was doing it. Like, who the fuck is Everlast? Like, didn't care then. But the song is not trashed by any means. But I'm like, yo, I'm not putting no song that you dissing fucking Everlast in any kind of B tier or A tier or AS. No, fuck no, no. Not doing it. It's not whack. It's not terrible, but I didn't give a shit about it. It was just okay, great. Eminem dissing another whack white rapper. Okay, let's move on.
And those. I
Damn.
mean, I get what you're saying, Stan. You are absolutely correct. Everlast ain't no hip hop titans. They not no real serious, like, you know what I mean? But it's like if Mike Tyson in his prime for the sorry ass nigga, it's still you expect him to be Mike Tyson. You expect him to have a head nod and the double uppercut, the hook to the jaw. You still
Yeah,
expect to see Mike Tyson.
okay,
It's
yeah,
just
okay, great. It's just like okay, great. Mike Tyson knocked out some tomato can. Okay, let's move on to the next one. That's kind of what I felt with that. It's like okay, great. Eminem going after uh, a low level white rapper. Okay, we've done that before. And the funny thing, like I said, I had never heard his song. Never heard it before. Uh, I remember when the most notable song that I remember about the Everlast shit was "Five Girls" on D12.
oh my goodness.
Off of D12. That one was a vicious diss record. This one was not.
No, Quitter was the
Oh,
one. Quitter was the one that came
Quitter
after.
too.
Yeah.
yeah, quitter.
Yeah, Quitter
Um,
too.
but look, I'm agreeing with you, Stan. I don't think it was the best battle that Eminem had. It's not even the best song versus them, but C tier though, like I think that's a bit. This is a borderline
Now,
A tier song to me. Like this is close. This is close. This is right with Jada and the Ice Cube and the it's right there. It's close. Um, I don't think when it comes to rap, right? I don't think your opponent. I don't think it plays as much as it does in boxing, right? And rap is just like it could be the garbage's artist, but if you put a garbage diss track out, you're still garbage for doing it.
see, I have to.
You have to be creative regardless, right? Because
See, I have to.
like
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. Because here's the thing, I gotta agree with that because I think we all would agree that Eminem's The Sauce and Nail in the Coffin are S tier diss tracks. And what's his opponent? Fucking
Benzino.
Benzino.
Exactly.
Fucking Ray
Exactly.
Benzino.
Yeah.
So I gotta give you I have to say, you know what? That makes a lot of that. You make some good
Yeah,
points.
because he still got to be creative, right?
Yeah, he still got to be
And he
creative.
was
It's even
creative. Now it wasn't like Eminem's best because he got some diss tracks, like you just said, Nail in the Coffin and shit like that, bro. Like those shits is just ridiculous. It's not that, but it's still very good. So I'm thinking I'm caught up between like low class A and high class B. But when I look at what we have in the high class B, I think this sits at the table with Son of a Kiss. I think they pass some blunts to each other. I think Kiss just passed the blunt, said, "Oh shit, we got M at the table here. M, you want to hit this?" And M was like, "Yeah, I want to hit this." And then he passed that shit to Killshot. Like, you know what I mean? Well, Killshot was B, right?
It was.
Killshot, okay. Like this sits at the table with those songs. Now it might not be Son of a Kiss is extremely potent, okay? It's not as extremely potent, but it's it's a very good diss track. So I'm gonna put it in right between high class B and mid tier B. It's right there between that. If you say mid tier B, I'm cool with that. But this is so close to being. It's just like the Jada Kiss. It's like it's so close to being the A tier. It's so close. So I'm gonna put it in B tier. And I'm gonna give it the credit that it deserves. I think B would be that mid tier, the high class cream of the crop B tier, almost knocking on the door A. Um, I think that's where this song belongs at. B tier.
Yeah, I agree. I think B tier is a good spot for it. One thing I do want to say, man, is that like I understand what you're saying about the opponent, but we're going to talk about Everlast's response to this at a different video. And the thing, no. The thing that I want to say though is like, yo, these dudes got disrespectful, man. Like you want to talk about like how battles is done. Both of these dudes got real disrespectful. And like listening to this song, M got man, he's real disrespectful. I mean, when he did
Really disrespectful.
the first part, like when he's singing, which is hilarious because he's mocking the fact that Everlast kind of moved away from rap and started to do more of like singing and whatnot. And the first part,
Hmm.
he's sitting there like, I remember when you had your first heart attack. I was laughing when I heard the news. I wish the cardiac would have murdered you. Like, bro, that's nasty, man.
That's
Because I mean, he
dirty
actually
work.
did have some issues. So like, that's nasty, man. I mean, and it get disrespectful. You know, it's disrespectful when they put the song out and they actually edit you, that the people on your side edit you because there's a lines in here that's edited out. Um, when he says, I don't know if y'all know the bar, but can I say this or not? I think I can say it.
Yeah, man. I think I know what you're about to say, Reggie.
Yeah,
I
I'm a,
think I,
but he's like,
I wouldn't say it.
okay, all right, but if y'all know, like he there's a part in the
yeah.
line that's blocked out, and it's like, yo, that's when you know you getting disrespect when you going there, like he's talking about, his religion and his race and kind of mixing it, like you shouldn't like you're confused or something, like yo, like that's mad disrespectful, man. Like they
Bro, he
got
got censored in the early 90s, 2000s when they was
yeah,
using all type of words too,
right,
bro.
right. So I don't know, man. Like for me, I think it's definitely B tier. It's a very good diss record. He absolutely fries Everlast. Listen, Everlast comes back and he get disrespectful as well. So I want to rap some of these verses. I just don't want to say
No,
this part.
no, hey yo, Reg, hey yo, take us off the screen when you decide to rap them shits. Then
I'm gonna
you
skip
rap
that
them
part.
shits by yourself, bro.
if y'all if y'all watching haven't heard the song, just pull the song up and pull up the lyrics and you'll see what I'm talking about.
You'll see it
You know,
definitely.
it's like I like so with you. I never fuck with you. Why would you fuck with me? Knowing I can wrap circles around you. What are you nuts as me? Plus I can sing better, and I don't even fucking sing. And I can probably play guitar better, and I never touched the string. He just flowing, just cooking them, man. So yeah, man, I would put it in. in B tier. I think B tier is a good spot for it. C is too low because he's cooking them. I understand about the
Yeah,
strength
he's
of the
doing.
opponent, but C is too low. I think B is where this song belongs.
He's definitely cooking, bro. He's
Yeah,
definitely cooking.
y'all can put it. You can definitely put it there. It's just not. You can put it there.
Hey, yo, B tier is gonna be the most complicated shit that we got, bro. It is
Yeah,
gonna be very complicated when we review them, bro.
yeah. The B tier just got stronger in this review, man, because we got some hard hitters up here now. So yeah, the B tier is definitely getting strong.
I thought Son of a Kiss was bad, but shit, nigga, looking at these joints, bro, we got some shit to discuss, bro. We got some shit to discuss for real. Yo, we might be moving Macho Man down
We might have to.
to D tier. Yeah,
We might
yo.
have to.
This C tier, this B tier is crazy. And a lot of these B tiers might become C tiers when we break them down.
We might, yeah, yeah.
Because there's some shit we put in the B tier, bro, that don't belong with some of these songs we done said in our last 2 or 3
I
episodes.
agree. I agree. That's the beauty of it, though. We're gonna come back. We're gonna chop it up about what we've already done and try to figure it out. So that's the beauty of it, you know. So yeah, this is dope. This is a good one, man. Anything else you want to add?
Nah, man, this is a very they getting tougher. It's getting
Yeah,
tougher. It's getting really tougher. The more we do and the
yeah.
more we have to go by. So pretty soon, bro, we're gonna have to do that review, man.
No doubt. No doubt. All right, we're gonna end it there. Appreciate you guys for coming through. Until the next time.
All right, man. Thanks a
Peace.
lot.